Hi, everybody. This is Professor Quine, and this is ePortfolio Webinar 2 for my RENG 91, 92, and English 101 students. This happens to be the spring 2018 semester. I could reuse this webinar in the future, however, so just please be mindful that certain aspects of your assignment and certainly the dates of your assignment, right, will be different than what you will possibly hear referenced on this webinar. So anyway, let me get started by saying this. If you have not watched the Reflective Letter webinar and ePortfolio webinar 1, go back and watch those webinars now. Stop this webinar, go back and watch those webinars, because if you don't, you're not going to understand a lot of what I talk about here, okay? Then come back and watch this webinar. Okay, so make sure that you've watched the Reflective Letter webinar and the ePortfolio webinar 1 before you watch this webinar. All right, so let's say you've done all of that. Let's get started with this webinar. And this webinar is all about, the first webinar goes over how to create your ePortfolio space on our campus and how to, what goes into your ePortfolio, how to handle certain situations, how to create your menus on, the sidebar and the top bar, all of that other good stuff, the technicalities of creating an e-portfolio on our campus. Now, this webinar is going to be devoted to looking at a sample e-portfolio, and we're really going to be focusing on the home page because your home page, it's sort of like a cover letter for a resume. If the cover letter's no good, if it's not attractive, if it's not interesting, nobody's really going to want to read the resume. Same thing here with the ePortfolio. If your welcome message isn't good, if it doesn't do a good job of welcoming the reader, then, the ePortfolio is going to fall a little bit flat. So let's go look at a sample homepage, a welcome message. So what I'm going to do is go to our campus, and remember there's a direct link on our course site in the useful links folder. If something should happen and you can't get into Canvas for some reason or another, you can go directly to our campus by just typing, I type www.ourcampus.com into a search, an address bar and click, and I go right there. Here we go. By now, you know how to log in. You've already created your username and password. I explain all of that in ePortfolio Webinar 1. And so now you're coming and logging in on your own. Okay, I've already logged in, so let me go ahead. Here I am. This is my stuff, although I can see I don't use that Yahoo address anymore, so that's probably why I haven't been receiving any emails from these folks. But anyway, once you log in, what you want to do is go to the top bar where it says ePortfolios and click. You get the drop down list. And now what you want to do is to go to My ePortfolios, because now you've already created your ePortfolio space, right? You've already begun building an ePortfolio. Now you want to go back in and look at your ePortfolio, possibly add some things, change some things. What I want to do is go find a student by the name of Keisha McIntyre's ePortfolio and show you how she created her home page, and I'm also going to show you how to embed a graphic on the home page. So let's click on My ePortfolios, and by the way, I'm Keisha McIntyre, so that's why I can get into Keisha's ePortfolio. And as you can see, over the years, I've taught a lot of ePortfolios, so I have lots of them. Now, this is a good time to mention this to you. Sometimes students mistakenly create more than one ePortfolio, and then they send me the link to the wrong one, and it's a mess. Please, it's your responsibility now, so listen to this closely. Make sure you know which ePortfolio you're working on and which one you want to send to me. And by send to me, I'll explain that to you in a little while. But which one you want me to look at and to grade, okay? And what I would suggest to you is that you name your ePortfolio in such a way, the official one, the one that you're using for the course, name it in such a way that you know that that's the ePortfolio. So anyway, Keisha is right here. It's Keisha McIntyre's ePortfolio. As I said in ePortfolio webinar 1, you can say, let's say you're Keisha McIntyre. Keisha McIntyre's English 101 ePortfolio or writing ePortfolio. You can do that if you want to. But Keisha chose to keep it simple and just do Keisha McIntyre's ePortfolio. Do not forget that apostrophe S in your name. Do not forget to lowercase the E and uppercase the P, okay? Let's make it right. Remember, we're training your eye for detail. That's one major way you need to be walking out of this class differently. You need to be seeing detail that you didn't see when you walked into the class, okay? All right, let's click on that link, and you're going to get a drop-down list that asks you where do you want to go. I want to go to the home page. And by the way, you'll be following that same method whenever you want to go back into your ePortfolio to fix something, okay? All right, or to add something. All right, so here's Keisha McIntyre's ePortfolio. She chose a blue background and a very dark blue font. I think that's pretty good. I think maybe black would have been a little bit crisper, but it's pretty good. I can see the font up here. And here, now Keisha, you can tell by looking at this, has been in both my 91 and my 92 classes. You see how she's labeled things here, okay? And she's also, I don't know how that, Keisha didn't do well in English 101 because she only did one essay, as you can see. That's just because, I don't know, I was playing around with this. I was expanding it to include English 101, and I only got one essay in there. So just ignore that, okay? English 101ers, you know what to do. You know how many essays you should have in here. So I went over that in ePortfolio webinar 1. Anyway, what we're concentrating on is this welcome message. And she says, I click on the ePortfolio home link, and there's the welcome message. And it says, hello, my name is Keisha McIntyre. I welcome you to my my RENG 91 and 92 ePortfolio. Here you will find my reflections on my RENG experiences as well as my RENG 91 and 92 writings, including a short essay about San Francisco, my favorite city, which has several lighthouses just like the one in the picture below. Now, that was Keisha's semester. That's what Keisha wrote about, was assigned to write about in her semester. I have had students who have made the mistake of thinking that I wanted them to copy and paste this message into their ePortfolio. No, I'm showing you this as an example of what somebody in a past semester, we're pretending, somebody in a past semester did, okay? You need to do your own welcome message and, mention your own assignments there, okay? And then she says, I hope you enjoy my ePortfolio, and she signed her name. I think that's really, there are no errors here in this welcome message, absolutely none. She avoids contractions. She avoids slang. Her punctuation is perfect. Her capitalization is perfect. There are no run-ons, comma splices, fragments. There are no errors here. Also, she's very upbeat. There is no lapse in her tone. She's proud of what she's done. She's happy that you're here, dear reader, etc., etc. Okay. Now, notice that she makes reference to a lighthouse in the picture below. I'm going to show you how she went about embedding that lighthouse in her welcome message. I expect you to also find a graphic or create a graphic if you know how to do that and embed it in your welcome message. I will, look, all things in life are a competition, whether you like it or not. And this is a competition. Will I fail you, for the ePortfolio if you don't have the graphic? No, but you won't do as well as somebody who did put the graphic in. I mean, that's only fair. If the other person went the extra mile, they should get the points, right? So you want to be in the competition and you want to know how to do this, and this is not hard to do at all. One thing that you have to do is go find yourself on the internet a picture of, a photo. Make sure that you are allowed to use it. Don't just go steal somebody's work. Make sure that, you'll always do some reading, whatever site you're on, do some reading to make sure that you are able to borrow, so to speak, the picture or the photo for your ePortfolio. Usually, if you go to different sites, and I'll have Dr. Zilberman with the e-learning office share with me a couple of sites that she likes that tend to be pretty, they'll allow students to use graphics for free. Usually, if you're using it for academic purposes, the picture or whatever, on most of these sites, they'll let you do it. If you're using it for commerce, if you're trying to sell a product and you take somebody's picture, they're not too happy with you about that. But generally, if you're a student, you're pretty safe. But I'll ask her to send us a link or two to some sources of pictures that you can use. Anyway, let me just show you the process of embedding a photo or a graphic on your or in your ePortfolio. We're going to go into Edit Page. Remember, no tiles, right? Okay, go into Edit Content. And then you want to click wherever you want that picture to be. Most people put it down at the bottom. I've seen some people, though, put it toward the top. I mean, it depends, just as long as it all fits together. And again, this is your chance to start practicing something that in occupational writing we call staffing out a writing. What that means is that you show it around, staffing out to your staff or, to your fellow students or whatever, but show it around and get some opinions and see if it works for them, the placement, the graphic, whatever. Now, speaking of that, Keisha says that she included a short essay about San Francisco, which has several lighthouses, just like the one in the picture below. You don't want to just put a picture in that has nothing to do with your ePortfolio or any of your writings. There should be a clear connection between the picture, the photo, the graphic that you use, and whatever you're saying in that welcome message, right? So I'm going to click and let's go find the little place that lets me embed a picture, which is this right here. Do you see that little square? It's supposed to be a graphic, but it doesn't look like one. But let me do it one more time to make sure. It's right there next to the anchor. This is the Insert Edit Image button. I'm going to click. And there it says, do you need to go and look for your image? Well, if you have gone and found an image, you should have saved it on your computer. And how do you do that? Generally, let me do this. Okay, lighthouses. Pictures of lighthouses. There we go. So let's say that I've already checked this site out and it says that it's fine. You can use, our pictures, no problem if you're a student. So I'm going to leave that to you to check out. And let's say I really, really, really want to use this one. What I do is I right click. No, this one isn't going to let me do it. Wouldn't you know it? Let me do it again. Lighthouse picture of a lighthouse. Oh no, I spelled it wrong. Lighthouse. There we go. Oh, here, free pictures on Pixabay. And then there was also a royalty. I don't want to use that. I don't want to use. Oh, that looks awful. That ship's about to crash into that. I like that. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, so here you can do a free download. Read all of the little blurbs here, but you can do a free download and you can actually save it onto your computer that way. Other times what you do is you right click on the picture, you'll get a drop down list and you can choose save as and you can save it that way. So there are a couple of ways to do it. Okay, so let me back up here. So I have gone to Keisha's ePortfolio. I've clicked on the home page. I've clicked on Edit Page, Edit Content. I've decided I'd like to put my picture down here underneath her signature or my signature. I'm pretending to be Keisha. I go up to this little icon right here and I click and it says, okay, go find it. So I'm going to go browse the server. And guess what? It's not on the server. Why is that? Because I don't think I uploaded it to the server, right? Don't you have to upload it? So let's go and see. There's the upload tab. Now it says go browse for it on your computer. And I'm going to go to my pictures, and I've saved pictures for this ePortfolio webinar in the ePortfolios folder. And I've got a couple here. The one that I want to use is the lighthouse. I'm going to click on that and open it. And I'm going to send it to the R Campus server. So I'm going to click on send it to server. Yeah, I'd already had it there, but that's okay. All right, so here it is. It's right there. It's huge. This picture is huge. There's no way that we want to use a picture that's that big. So how do we change it? Well, you see over here it says width and height. I'm going to toy with that a little bit. Let's bring this down to 150. Ah, you see how small it is? Maybe that's too small. Let's try 200. Let's try 250. That's pretty good. I like that. I'm going to go and click OK. And look, there's my picture. You want to do it one more time? Okay, here we go. I'm on Keisha's homepage, her welcome message. I click on edit page, edit content. I'm clicking under Keisha's name because I want to place the picture there. I'm going to go up here to this little image there, that little, I say button, it's an icon. And when I browsed the server, I didn't see this picture. Now, whose server is this? That's our campus's server. And so I'm thinking maybe I thought that I hadn't sent it over to them. So, and that's going to be the situation you find yourself in because you haven't sent any pictures over to the R Campus server, have you? So how do you do that? Well, you go to this tab that says upload. You've already saved a picture that you really like on your hard drive or on your flash drive, whatever it is, okay? So we need to upload it from wherever it is you saved that picture. Let's say it's on your hard drive like mine is. So we're going to go find it. There it is. I click open. And then I'm going to send it over to the R Campus server. And it's going to tell me it's already there. Okay, there it is. It's too big. So I come over here to width and height and I start playing a bit with the width and the height. I chose 250. That works really well with this particular picture. I like it. I'm going to insert it. I click OK and then I click save. And voila, there's my picture. That's all it is. That's all it is. Nice creative project. You should have fun with this. You know, you're choosing your colors, choosing the font, you know, that you want to use the color of the font, choosing your graphics, you know, putting it all together. This should be a nice creative outlet for you. So that's like the big thing that I wanted to go over for this ePortfolio webinar. The only other thing I would say is that, you know, for our ePortfolio, you have to post an active link to the ePortfolio on our Course Sites discussions board. And you should find that you're going to be doing this 2 times because you see I'm going to give you an extra credit discussion board where I tell you how I'm going to grade it, but in essence what it is practice for you to copy and paste an active link to your ePortfolio on that discussion board. So I do a little mini webinar. I show you how to do that. Basically, you're going up to the address bar of your ePortfolio and copying and pasting it on the discussion board, but I take you through it step by step. Make sure, and you'll find that little mini webinar embedded in the directions for the extra credit exercise on the Course Sites discussions board that you will find available now. You know, you should have actually found it available right after you watched ePortfolio webinar 1. Make sure you do that extra credit exercise. It's invaluable in giving you the practice you need in getting your ePortfolio up and running and also learning how to post an active link to your ePortfolio correctly on the discussion board. Then after that deadline passes for that extra credit exercise, the next thing I will set up, I will make available is the formal posting area for the active ePortfolio link on the Course Sites discussions board. And so by that point, your ePortfolio should be fully developed. This is due on the last day of class. look at your schedule for whatever date that is. Um, you should have your ePortfolio fully developed. You should have already participated in the extra credit exercise, so you know how to post an active link on that board. So you should be, really proficient and good at doing this. There should be no problem, no worries about, doing it correctly. You should already know how to do it correctly. Please remember that if you can't find me to get help, I try to help as much as possible with the ePortfolio via email, but sometimes you have to be sitting behind a computer with a student in order to figure out what's going on if the student's having trouble. You have got to get to this assignment early. Okay, you've got to get this done early. And if you have any problems, you have to address them early, because you don't get an extension on the assignment if you don't, you've got to get it done. If you can't find me, get the name of somebody in the class who's had me before, or who is doing this and not having any problems, so that you can consult with that person. One thing you're going to find on your course competencies page, especially under the behaviors section, I think, is that by this point of the semester, you have to be demonstrating basically the ability to stand on your own, like this, for lack of a better way of putting it, that where all the college resources are, to go get help, that you know where e-learning is, where you know where the open computer lab is, you know where the tutors are, and also you've built this personal network of help, okay, that will be there for you long after, I'm dead and gone, okay? So, make sure that you're doing all of those things. Be self-sufficient. All right. I'm more than happy to help with the ePortfolio. I just need to make sure that you understand that you need to watch these webinars first. You need to give it a good, honest try first. Okay. Remember, again, and I said this in ePortfolio webinar 1, I'll say it again. If you find that you're having trouble with the R campus site freezing up, switch to another browser. It could be your browser. Okay, that means you need to download it at least one other browser, right? And then if that doesn't work, find another computer to try out, okay? So see if that'll work for you. If it still doesn't work, seek help quickly. Now, I don't think the Open Computer Lab is going to know anything about this assignment. I don't know how much help they're going to be. So by seeking help quickly, I mean you're going to have to find me during office hours, or you're going to have a friend in class, okay, that you can call or visit with in order to get the problem solved, right? Okay. All right. With all of that being said, I really want you to have fun with this. This ePortfolio is yours forever, as far as I'm concerned, unless our campus shuts down. You can keep adding to it. You can use it on job interviews. You can use it for interviews at another college if you're going on for your bachelor's or whatever. Yeah, so have fun with it. Make it your project, okay? Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.